Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Sit properly. Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna
that the introduction? I think it is. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. And welcome to the Wednesday night reading and discussion of Chaitanya Charitamrita from the original unedited, unchanged books of our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, His Divine Grace. And we want to explain one simple principle, that spiritual life begins with discipline. Yeah, you have to have some kind of discipline in terms of how you conduct your life. And the first principle that Prabhupada taught us, there were 4 principles actually: no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex life, and no gambling. And these principles were meant to elevate the living entity from the animal existence they were dwelling in to the human platform of behavior. For example, no meat eating. Well, a lot of people in the Western world, they are raised as meat eaters. Now, when you think about that food, after being Vaishnavas, becoming trained as Vaishnavas, how do you look upon it? Mother Ajisha, I tell you what you do. You think, God, how did I ever eat that? It's actually so degraded. Yet people don't see it in the West. And therefore they come up to you, they say, what do you mean? You don't eat hamburgers? No, we don't. No, thank you. So this is a sign of advancement when someone changes from following the animal life that people in the West do, intoxication. Now, intoxication is something that's a lifestyle in the West here. You go out to these major sporting events. People go to these events in the tens of millions of spectators. And when they're there, a lot of them, they focus on drinking to stimulate themselves while they eat their terrible food. For example, on every Tuesday with the Blue Jays at the Rogers Center in Toronto, they have a special. It's called the $1 hot dog. And then people go there, they eat like 30, 40 hot dogs in one night. Can you imagine how contaminating that is for the body? It's terrible, but they think that's normal. Oh, I ate 40 hot dogs last night. Well, I wonder why you get cancer, why you feel unhappy. And then there's gambling. Prabhupada said, no gambling. And nowadays, people, they gamble all the time. Especially they now on the sports entertainment page, all of the big sponsors are sponsoring gambling sites. And the people gamble billions of dollars on their sports events. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending animal life. And illicit sex, well, that's everywhere. You know, the material world, everyone is like a dog or a cat looking, where is food, where is sex? That's what Prabhupada says about the food, the birds, where is food? Chirp, 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 where is sex? People are looking for it. So this is animal society that we live in. And, you know, some people will not like you because you do not sort of follow the crowd. You don't. You're different. You go out, you probably, if you're going to a social with your family, you won't eat anything. No, thanks. Well, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? How about what's wrong with you? I told you over and over again, this is bad for your health, not only materially, but spiritually, but you don't listen. And guess what? When people don't agree with each other, now in the Krishna movement, it's really common nowadays for them to disrespect us. In fact, my friend Abhimanyu, I sent him out, he's my spy, let's say. I sent him out to Rath Yatra, so-called Festival of India, on Saturday. And one of my godbrothers, Krishna Das, oh no, that guy's a Ritvik. He's, this Krishna Das, he's what he is. I don't want to be too harsh. And all he can say, Ram Raghava, is, oh no, don't talk to me about this philosophy. I'm leaving. I'm going to go away. They don't want to discuss with us any principles of philosophy of Guru Tattva. No, 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 no. We're going to follow the fake gurus that do all kinds of crazy things. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to let them collect as much money as they want and put it in private bank accounts. Oh yeah, we'll do that. We're going to let the Rath Yatra run with a Chinese dragon at the front and not say a word. You saw the picture, eh? I don't know if you saw the picture you showed Anandana Prabhu of the Toronto Rath Yatra. What a glorious festival. By the way, and I don't want to brag, it was it was something I ran for 11 years. And, it was celebrated as a good idea how we did it and evolved it. And now it's flourished into this Sahajya, this whole total Hinduization festival in Toronto. It's not Rath Yatra, please. It's Festival of India. And they got the dragon at the front of the carts. What is going on? Sahajyism at its finest. But then people, oh, that Vishva, that's Krishna. No, I don't want to hear anything he has to say. Yeah, I'm just going to walk away. That's what he did. He walked away from him. Oh, no. And all the some of the other God, there's a few there, hardly any. But they're there. Oh, no, don't bring that up. That Ritvik principle. What does it mean? They don't know. They're indoctrinated, confused, and they don't chant their rounds. No, they don't. They don't read Prabhupada's books. They're not connected with Prabhupada in his Vani incarnation. Prabhupada exists in sound. You can't discuss it with them because they're too lost in Maya. So that's the way it is with Maya. People, when Krishna was present personally, a lot of people didn't know it was even him. They thought he was just a boy tending cows. So what to speak of us? They look at us, oh my God, these people are completely out of it. Whereas they're out of it. They're lost. And not only are they lost, Yashodanandana, they perpetrate lies, misinformation, and deceit in order to justify their hypocrisy. Justify it. They never really did anything except complain. They never achieved anything. Oh yeah, they may have gone to Mangal Arti or sold a few books and are few short years they were in the society, but few short, that's for sure. So let the dogs bark. Some of our members, they say, oh, let the dogs bark while the camel train carries on. And we're going to let them bark, 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 bark. Go away and have fun. You remember, time and tide, wait for no man. So you can say whatever you want. You can blaspheme us. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm one of the popular targets, Ram Raghava, for blasphemy. Oh, that Vishva, he was a bad boy 45 years ago. Oh, yeah, sorry. I haven't been perfect all my life. But nowadays, we as a group are focused on an important issue, which is the distribution of the Delhi Bhagavatams. And that is an achievement that we all succeeded in. Yes, all of us. And I want to thank everybody that's coming forward to support this preaching effort that we are organizing. It's quite complicated, Ram Raghava, the logistics of it. I never realized. You know, you do something, you get a yes, you start marching forward, you think, oh, I got yes. Krishna blessed us with the service. Oh, by the way, here, look at this. You get this list. Yeah, I got a new list, a new book of list. This person, that person, a person wants 2 sets in Russia. Oh, two sets in Russia. I had a phone call today. Now, how the heck do you get 2 sets of books to Russia when there are restrictions on shipping anything from Canada and the US to Russia because of the war between different countries? How do you do it? Well, that's a problem. Oh, well, you got to ship it to India, and then they could ship it from India. We can ship it to Moscow. Okay, well, let's take on the challenge. Let's see what it does and see how much it costs. So logistics is becoming a new expertise that we're cultivating. How to distribute books worldwide in time, place, and circumstance. And we've been discussing that in earlier programs, how Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada preached in perfect time, place, and circumstance. And it's a different circumstance nowadays, everyone. It really is. Like you can go down on the street corner at King and James here in Hamilton, and what are you going to find? Tent City. You think you've got people there, they're going to run up, here's $10 for a Bhagavad Gita. I don't think so. They walk up to you, hey, have you got a cigarette? You got a dime? That's what you get. Go downtown in LA and see how you make out. Things have changed. So the use of the internet, the use of Amazon, which is a worldwide distribution network, and we're going to be entering into that. Our advertising campaign is going to expand. And I said to Ron Singh, who's our logistics manager for PDA Hare Krishna Society. We're working together as a team to disseminate this information worldwide. I said to him, what would we do if we had 1,000 orders a day? So I've been calling around. We're trying to get some software, some organizational tools to be able to deal with it, because it could happen. Oh yeah, it could happen. Krishna could bless us. We've got other plans. I won't disclose them. But this effort that we're making to protect Prabhupada's legacy by preserving his original teachings is getting the sanction of who? It's getting the sanction of Krishna. And those that are participating in this can see Krishna working in the efforts that we're making to please our spiritual master. Because if you please the spiritual master, you automatically get the blessings of Krishna. And this is the secret. And we need someone to come forward, because our manager is traveling overseas for other service. And we do need a person to come to Oroville. We have a beautiful center there with lots of potential. And you can live there for no charge, yeah, no expense, but you have to do service, that's it. You help maintain the property, cook for yourself and the deities. He has a beautiful Prabhupada Murti there. And then simultaneously learn how to run the logistics department for our book distribution, because we need to man somebody, or a woman, to man that center and facilitate this service, which is so important for the Sankirtan mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not a small thing, and it's a great opportunity. So you can think about it. No charge. You can live there for free. Don't worry. We've got a circumstance there that at least the expenses of living are covered. And then you could take a role. You can be active. You can get involved in devotional service. And it is a very valuable service to do Prabhupada book distribution. Time, place, and circumstance. There's a beautiful river there. I got a guy, I've been talking to a guy in Hawaii, Dinashraya. He said, well, I think there's gold that's flowing in the river there. I said, yeah, it probably is. Maybe you can go pan for gold during the day if you want, as long as you work on the distribution of these books in our logistics department. You can go out and pan for gold all you want. But the real diamonds, the real gold, are Prabhupada's books. And this Srimad Bhagavatam, Delhi edition, look at that, eh? Isn't that magnificent? It's strange, I'm going to wind up, sorry, Yashodanandana Prabhu, but some of the devotees, we asked them, oh, can you help us with the distribution of these books? Oh no, don't send us any books. I've been coming to 100 classes and we've got this program going, and then we get a response from somebody like, oh no, I don't want any books over here at my house. Is that something not right upstairs there in Cuckoo Head? What is it? You can't connect the dots? No, obviously. So we can't count on anyone, but we can count on all of you to really, Das Avatar, think about your life. You're getting older, right? How old are you, by the way? Should I ask? Yeah, I can. You're not a woman. Go ahead. Let me guess. 65. How's that? You don't have to answer. 65? Oh, down. Sorry, you're younger. Anyway, just a joke. We're all getting older. Time is of the essence. So really think about what you're doing with your time. If you've got some time, you're interested, we're taking applications to become assistant logistics manager for the Hare Krishna Society Prabhupada Disciples Association globally. And it's exciting, so it's an opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone. We really appreciate everyone's participation in our program and the effort that we're trying, despite what people are going to say. Oh, don't go near that Vishva. He's a Ritvik. Oh, yeah. Call me up, please. I want to have a talk. Go ahead. If you dare try to discuss philosophy, or you just go run away. Haribo. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Ram Raghava, what have we got next? Do we have the Prabhupada lecture?
Yes, Prabhu, we have a Srila Prabhupada lecture. It's almost 9.5 minutes long, and in that
fantastic.
lecture, Srila Prabhupada rhetorically asks why you should eat animals.
Well, that's an interesting, connection between what I was saying and what Prabhupada's saying. So we connect the dots, everybody, and we'll move forward into the nectar of this transcendental association with all of the Prabhupada disciples. Hare Krishna.
Everything is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita does not say that you live by breathing air. No. Bhagavad Gita says, Annad bhavanti bhutani. Anna means food grains. There is necessity of food grain. Annad bhavanti bhutani. Bhagavad Gita never says that you don't require to eat. You simply breathe air and practice yoga. No. But we must eat neither more nor less. That is a command. Yuktahara viharas. We should not eat more nor less. And nirasi means desire less of extravagance. Now we are desiring for sense gratification more and more. That is not wanted. If you want perfection of life, this is called tapasya. One has got the desire, but he should not desire unnecessarily. Everyone has got the right to eat, even the animals, everyone has got the right. But because we are desiring to enjoy more, therefore we do not give the chance to the animals to live properly, rather we are trying to eat the animals. This is not required. This is called nirasa. Why you should eat animals? That is uncivilized life. When there is no food, when there are aborigines, they may eat animals because they do not know how to grow food. But when the human society becomes civilized, he can grow so many nice food. He can keep the cows instead of eating the cows. He can get milk, sufficient milk. We can make so many preparations from milk and grains. So we should not desire unnecessarily to enjoy more. Then it is said here, Kurban na apnati kilmisham. Kilmisham means resultant action of sinful life. Kilmisham. So, if you don't desire more than our necessary, then we are not implicated, involved in sinful activities. Kurban nabi, even though he is engaged in working, while you are working, knowingly or unknowingly, you have to commit something which is not pious, even sinful. But if you simply desire for living properly, then kurban napi na apnati, na kilmisham. Kurban napi na apnati kilmisham. Our life should be without any sinful reaction. Otherwise we'll have to suffer. But they do not believe, although they are seeing so many abominable lives. Where from they are coming? 8,400,000 species of life. There are so many lives living very abominable condition. Of course, the animal or the living creature does not know. But we human beings, we should know why this is this abominable life. It is Maya's illusion. Even one is just like a pig is living in a very filthy condition, eating stool, and still he is thinking very happy, and therefore he is getting fat. When one feels happy, I am very happy, he becomes fatty. So you'll find these pigs, they are very much fatty, but what they eat? They eat a stool and live in a filthy place. But they think that we are very happy. So that is Maya's illusion. Anyone who is living in a very abominable condition of life, Maya's, by illusion, he is thinking that he is all right, he is living very perfectly. But a person who is on the higher stage, he sees that he is living in a very abominable condition. So, this illusion is there, but by knowledge, by good association, by taking instruction from the Shastras, from Guru, from saintly person, one should understand what is the value of life and lead like that. So this is instructed by Krishna, that nirasi, one should not be unnecessarily desireful more than his necessities of life. This is called nirasi. Nirasi, another meaning is that not very much fond of material enjoyment. And that is possible when he is in full knowledge that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. My necessity is how to advance in spiritual knowledge. Then he can become nirasi. These are the items for tapasya, austerity, penance. People have forgotten now. They do not know what is austerities. But the human life is meant for that purpose. Tapo dibbang putrakajena suddhet satya jena brahma saukham anantam. These are the instructions of the Shastra. The human life is meant for tapasya. And as tapasya, therefore, in the Vedic way of life, the beginning of life is tapasya, brahmachari. Brahmachari. A student is sent to Gurukul for practicing brahmacharya. This is tapasya. Not comfortable life, lying down on the floor, going door to door for begging alms for Guru. But they are not tired because they are children. If they are trained, these austerities, they become to practice. They call all women, mother, give me some alms. And they come back to Guru's place. Everything belongs to Guru. This brahmachari life, this is tapasya, tapodibbam. That is Vedic civilization. That children should be, from the very beginning of life, trained up in tapasya, brahmacharya, celibacy. Brahmachari cannot see any young woman. Even the Guru's wife is young. He cannot go to the Guru's wife. These are the restrictions. Now where is that brahmacharya? No brahmachari. This is Kali Yuga. No tapasya.
And this is the fact that so many people that are taking the role of sannyas or guru do not follow the process of Krishna consciousness according to how Prabhupada taught us, and yet they're perpetrating themselves as Uttama Adhikaris. There's an interesting comment here from one of our godbrothers. He put some guy, Amoga Lila. Well, at least these guys gave the money for the Vani thing, Veda base. So these Ritviks, could I correct you, Amoga Lila? I'm a Prabhupada disciple. Maybe you know who we are. Maybe you understand the idea that we served our guru personally for many, many years and accomplished quite a bit in that period of time. I have no idea who you are. But you're saying, oh, first you're calling us Ritviks. Okay, that's something that someone made up as a derogatory term to describe a godbrother. Not a Ritvik, a Prabhupada disciple, a servant of the spiritual master. Oh, yes. But you will criticize. And that goes on in the name of what we also call Vapuism. A Vapuite who follows bogus gurus like Trivikram, Radhanath, Tamal Krishna, Nityānanda, and the long list of bogites goes on, a long list. And you can't see it because you're insane. Okay, let's go forward with the chanting of Jaya Radha Madhava by Srila Prabhupada, and we'll carry on. We're having some fun today. Hey, Dasa Avatar, we're having some fun. Telling the truth. Haribo.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Muspat Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Sattva Smadhati Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Bhagavad Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Ramacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktamani Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Mokh Gopinath Sam Khand Radha Khand Giri Godhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Guru Dwarka Dham Ki Jai Swami Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai All glories to their Samaya All glories to their Samaya Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1. Narayanam namaskrityam Narayanam namaskrityam Naram chaiva narottamam Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Tato Jayam Udirayet. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, after offering respectful obeisances of one to the personality of Godhead, Narayana. Excuse me. 2, to the Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being. 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-4. Welcome everyone to this reading and discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. As we do every week, we are to mention that this reading has been conducted on the basis of the original non-adulterated 1974-75 Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita edition, and that all synonyms, purports, and translations are from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. What we will do this week is we will just read straight to the Sanskrit and we will go into the verse for the day. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Etina Thakur Gadiyaki Karya Chena Yatmasat Etinera Charana Vandan Tire Morenat Grantera Rambikari Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Tinera Smarane Vigna Vinashanam Anayase Nijavan Chita Purana Simangala Charana Trivida Prakar Vastu Nirdesha Shirvada Namaskara. We will proceed with our verse for today. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 5, text number 203. Sanatana Kripaya Painu Bhakti Siddhanta, Sri Rup Kripaya Painu Bhakti Rasa Pranta, Sanatana Kripaya, by the mercy of Sanatana Goswami, Painu, I got Bhaktira Siddhanta, the conclusions of devotional service, Sri Rupa Kripaya, by the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami, Painu, I got Bhaktirasa Pranta, the limit of the mellows of devotional service. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. By the mercy of Sanatana Goswami, I have learned the final conclusions of devotional service. And by the grace of Sri Rupa Goswami, I have tasted the highest nectar of devotional service. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, the teacher of the science of devotional service, wrote several books, of which the Brihad Bhagavatamrita is very famous. Anyone who wants to know about the subject matter of devotees, devotional service, and Krishna must read this book. Sanatana Goswami also wrote a special commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam known as the Dasama Tippani, which is so excellent that by reading it, one can understand very deeply the pastimes of Krishna in his exchanges of loving activities. Another famous book by Sanatana Goswami is the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, which states the rules and regulations for all divisions of Vaishnavas, namely Vaishnava householders, Vaishnava brahmacharis, Vaishnava vanaprasthas, and Vaishnava sannyasis. This book was especially written, however, for Vaishnava householders. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has described Sanatana Goswami in his prayer, Vilapa Kusumanjali, verse 6, where he has expressed his obligation to Sanatana Goswami in the following words: Vairagya Yud Bhakti Rasam Prayatner Apayayan Mama Nabipshunandam Kripam Bhudir Yapara Dukka Dukki Sanatanastam Prabhumashrayami. I was unwilling to drink the nectar of devotional service, possessed of renunciation. But Sanatana Goswami, out of his causeless mercy, made me drink it, even though I was otherwise unable to do so. Therefore, he is an ocean of mercy. He is very much compassionate to fallen souls like me, and thus it is my duty to offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, also in the last section of Chaitanya Charitamrita, specifically mentions the name of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami, and offers his respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of these three spiritual masters, as well as Raghunath Dasa. Srila Raghunath Dasa Goswami also accepted Sanatana Goswami as the teacher of the science of devotional service. Srila Rupa Goswami is described as the Bhakti Rasacharya, or one who knows the essence of devotional service. His famous book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is the science of devotional service, and by reading this book, one can understand the meaning of devotional service. Another one of his famous books is Ujjvala Nilamani. In this book, he elaborately explains the loving affairs and transcendental activities of Lord Krishna and Radharani. Text 204. Jai Jai Nityānanda Charanara Vinda Jahaiti Painu Sri Radha Govinda. Jai Jai. All glories to Nityānanda of Lord Nityānanda. Charana Aravinda, the lotus feet. Yaha Oeti, from whom Painu I got. Sri Radha Govinda, the shelter of Sri Radha and Govinda. Translation. All glory to the lotus feet of Lord Nityānanda, by whose mercy I have attained Sri Radha Govinda. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, who is famous for his poetic composition known as Prarthana, has lamented in one of his prayers, "When will Lord Nityānanda be merciful upon me so that I will forget all material desires?" Srila Narottam Das Thakur confirms that unless one is freed from material desire to satisfy the needs of the body and senses, one cannot understand the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna, Vrindavana. He also confirms that one cannot understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna without going through the direction of the 6 Goswamis. In another verse, Narottam Das Thakur has stated that without the causeless mercy of Nityānanda Prabhu, one cannot enter into the affairs of Radha and Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shigurave Namaham Bhagavad Vandana Khadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharkara Yuktam Kadatehi Visheshataham Adadanastrinam Danter Idam Yache Punaha Punaha Srimadrupa Padam Bhoja Dulisyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavatosmyaham Sadadasu Asmi Sarabata Tat Kripa Pikshako Nityam Tat Prishta Sat Karomi Swam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I see that there's some very interesting statement in the chat box from allegedly from one Amoga Leela, who says all these letters, conversations, books, Veda-based that these Ritvik use to counter and criticize our gurus are available to the public only because of hard work of our gurus that they did to preserve Prabhupada Vani and make it available to all. Well, first of all, let me make a correction here, specifically with regards to the books. Prabhupada requested in 1977, on June 22nd, 1977, in his garden in Vrindavan, India, it's also known as the Rascal Editor's Conversation, that whatever changes had been made to his books during his manifested presence, they should stop. Prabhupada said that they cannot change anything. And Prabhupada wanted that the changes which had already been made during his manifested presence after the first edition should be returned back to the original way. Did they ever do that? No. The Prabhupada letter books was published by a devotee named Nishchintya, another one named Sulochan, and a few other devotees in Los Angeles, who some way or other obtained a microfiche of the letter, got it published in Mexico because the BBT did not want to publish them. As a matter of fact, one of the managers of the BBT threatened to have Sulochan assassinated if he did not return the microfiche. He told him, "You are dead meat on the hook if you don't return these letters." So much for the gurus trying to print and promote Prabhupada's original letters and books. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we're reading, when they reprinted the Chaitanya Charitamrita, they re-edited and changed some of the fundamental pages that Prabhupada had written in his original book. So this presentation here by the Samagolila is nonsense. It is not a fact. It is a falsehood and not true. These gurus, specifically the managers of the BBT, did not reprint Prabhupada's original books. They changed them. As a matter of fact, they took the insult further by publishing in the United States Copyright Office in Washington, D.C., USA, that Prabhupada was a worker for hire. Oh, I see. Prabhupada was an employee of their corporation. People should get the facts straight before they open their mouths. What is stated here is simply nonsense. These gurus in ISKCON and managers in ISKCON did everything they could to prevent the publication of Prabhupada's conversations. They did not reprint the original Chaitanya Charitamrita. They did not reprint the original Bhagavad Gita as it is. They made 5,000 to these changes. What are they talking about? They're not preserving Prabhupada's Vani, they're changing Prabhupada's Vani in disobedience of Prabhupada's instructions. I was in a room personally on the 22nd of June, 1977. After everybody had left the garden, I happened to be in Prabhupada's room, and Prabhupada started to scream at me, and he took his paperweight on his desk and he slammed it. And I was startled. Prabhupada said, you there, you tell these GBCs if they change one word from what I've written, it will spoil everything I've done. Now get out of here and write a letter and tell them to stop changing my books. Did they stop? No, they increased it. Under the plea of grammatical embellishment and grammatical correctness. Here's the conversation. Sometimes they appeal that we can make better English. So they changed like that, just like in the case of Ishopanishad. There are over 100 changes. So where is the need? Your words are sufficient. The potency is there. When they change, it's something else. Swarup Damodar, that's actually a very dangerous mentality. Yasoda, what is it going to be in 5 years? What it speaks of 46 years. It's going to be a different book, Prabhupada. So what are you going? It's a very serious situation. You write one letter that why you have made so many changes and whom to write, who will care? All rascals are there. Write to Satsvarup that this is the position. They're doing anything and everything at their whim. The next printing should be again to the original way. Let me just repeat that for the managers who are hiding in Mayapur. The next printing should be again to the original way. Further down. Further. Tamal, they should have a board of Sasvarup and Jayadvaita. Prabhupada, Those two men are both in Los Angeles now. Prabhupada, so write them immediately that the rascal editors, they're doing havoc and they are being maintained by Ramaswar and company and party. Tamal, sometime there's a fear that some word will be unpopular, and on account of desire to gain popularity or acceptance, they lessen the strength of the word. They change the word, they choose a word which is more so-called acceptable. Sarup Damodar, same thing is with the Back to Godhead. Just publish some photo. tried to change so many things in order to make it popularized. They've been doing that even with the philosophy. So the point being that Srila Prabhupada requested not to change his books. And what did they do? They doubled down and changed more and more. And why is it important for devotees to be aware of this issue? Because Prabhupada did not want his books, his original first edition books, to be changed. Some people will say, we're not changing, we're just editing. Well, whatever you're doing, you didn't follow that instruction of Prabhupada when he said the next printing again should be the original way. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. And this is like that with so many other instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes we hear the criticism, oh, Yasoda and Vishwakarma, they're just criticizing the gurus. We have no interest in criticizing anyone. We're not fault-finding, we are fact-finding. Straighten it out, clean it up. It's not difficult. Go back the original way. That was Prabhupada's request. That was Prabhupada's desire. Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio, Vishwakarma. Hare Krishna.
Yashodanandana Prabhu, how people become educated at with a little instruction from a great person. And the great person that we're speaking about is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They become educated, and then they take that education and use it for their own personal gain, for their own ambition. Because everybody in the material world, Mother Achisha, is looking for name and fame. That's the way it is. And why not? Look at, you come to a course. Look, Yashoda, but Prabhu was speaking about a doctor. A doctor, he goes, some of these doctors, they have to practice for 14 years. They have to go to school for 14 years and study seriously before they get their accreditation. But some of these people that came to our movement, they stayed for a year or two. Oh, they went out and sold books. They figured out how to change people up. And then all of a sudden, they're big devotees. No. All of a sudden, they think there's some kind of avatar. No. Like Keith Ham. I had extensive experience with him in New Vrindavan. And a lot of you, some of you that come to our program were there and had experience of how deviant this person was. But somehow or other, they took the role based on their own personal ambition to be somebody when they're nobodies. And this is going on everywhere, in every group, everything, because everyone in the material world more or less is in Maya. Yes. And what is Maya? That which is not. You think you are somebody, but you're nobody. We are insignificant souls. There are billions of living entities on this planet. There are billions and trillions of living entities. This is all part of Krishna's creation. That God is unlimited. And we are part of that transcendental potency. And we have a special opportunity, all of us, to serve a pure devotee. Not someone comes and associates with Prabhupada for a few days, for a few weeks, for a couple of years, and all of a sudden he becomes a pure devotee. No, please. And then later it becomes exposed and you can see all of the sadness that's come about. And actually, it's really sad, Ram Raghava, how sad it's become when you look at the Toronto Rath Yatra this last weekend. It's my son went to it. He said it's got nothing to do with Lord Jagannath. It's all about a social event. Okay, this is common. You know that. Even in the Christian groups, I mean, they go to church on Sunday and they get dressed up. Why? Because you go, people can see, well, I'm here, I'm dressed up. And then when the donation plate goes by, they slap 100 on the plate and they make sure, here, they pull it out. And they show to everybody, look at how much money I'm going to give today. Profit, adoration, and distinction. And this is what's going on in the name of religion, is hypocrisy. We live in a society of hypocrites. I'm going to switch over for a second, Ram Raghava. We're going to carry on with our program, but it's interesting. We've got a situation in the south of the border here of the leader of the country there. Oh, yeah. And he's in a somewhat of a controversy right now because of personal behavior. Now, that's the issue. And they're trying to cover it up. Let's not talk about the past. Let's just look at what we are doing and how good we're doing. That's questionable. Of course, to the nationalistic pride of a country and its members, they may think that way. Nationalism is a disease. It's not a cure to the human problems. No, it's not. It's a problem. Actually, in Germany, that was the problem there at the Second World War, nationalism. They thought they were the superhuman race, right? They called themselves Aryans, Ram Raghava. Aryans, superhumans. And they marched on the rest of their neighbors, not with food and medicine, but with bullets and weapons of destruction. And they opened up concentration camps and killed so many millions of people in the name of nationalism. We are not the body, we're spirit soul, we're eternal parts and parcels of Krishna. But people are thinking, I'm an American, I'm a Canadian, I'm an East Indian. We're none of those, we're eternal servants. But Maya's telling us that which is not. And look at all the hypocrisy that's gone on, as you showed us so carefully revealed in personal conversations with Srila Prabhupada, and people are changing everything. It's a very interesting point I wanted to bring up, Yashoda. There is a devotee that I personally sold him his first Gita, Bhakti Marg Swami. I don't know if he's a Swami, but it's Bhakti Marg. And recently he complained, he said, I have to block my ears when I hear people read the 4 regulated principles. No intoxication, no illicit sex, no meat eating, and no gambling. He said it's offensive for me to hear it. Why not explain what it means when people don't follow these rules and regulations? What happens to their consciousness? How they become controlled by the modes of nature? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. How they become bewildered and experience so much bad karma, or in a cycle of birth and death as a result of it, and eternally conditioned because of it. Animal life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Oh, you don't like that? I wonder why. What is the reason? Can you explain? No, you can't. In fact, it's kind of funny. I see this fellow, he has a new title, The Walking Monk. Oh, wow. And he walked across Canada 4 times. 4 times, back and forth. There's a person in Canada, I hope I don't go off, but there's a person in Canada called Terry Fox. Some of you probably haven't heard of this fellow, but he became successful because he went on a walk by himself, by the way. You see the videos of him historically, and he was going on these walks with one leg. And unfortunately, it was a walk for raising money to cure cancer, which is, something that medical scientists do to drive Mercedes-Benz. So what happened was he eventually died, but it became a thing. Oh, let's go for a walk. So this walking monk, he decided, well, I'll walk across Canada. What a waste of time. Did he distribute books? No. Was he chanting Hare Krishna? No. He was walking on the highways. If you ever walked, I've driven to Calgary. I've talked about it in our program. It is a long way. Wow. Like, you're talking a long way. And I'm thinking of what he did by himself. He had a van, and they followed him. And he really, after a while, he changed it. He would walk sometime, and then he would stop in North Bay and decide, well, I think I'll get a plane. I'll fly back to Toronto. He'd fly back to Toronto. And then he'd go to Nova Scotia. I think I'll fly over to Nova Scotia. Okay, I got to go back and get on the walk again. So you fly back to Toronto, fly up to North Bay, and then get back on the walk. Wow. You talk about mental concoction. But he became somewhat, or he thinks he is somewhat, knowledge when he would see the bears on the highway. Oh, I saw the bear. I ran away. I was afraidy. I got scaredy. And they got a cartoon book about it. There's some book, instead of distributing the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam Delhi's editions, instead of distributing Nectar of Devotion, our law book, not the law books of the GBC, which are a farce. They distribute this cartoon book of him walking across Canada and talking to the bears. And that's what he does when he goes, oh yeah, I walked across Canada 4 times. It's interesting to note, listen to this, Ram Raghava. On the 4th time, he walked back, so-called this stage walking. 4th time, I mean, can you imagine how far it's mind-boggling. And when he got there to the Atlantic Ocean, he put his foot in the water, and some kind of fish came and bit him, and he went paralyzed in his leg. Can you imagine? Oh, no, it's just a coincidence. Yeah, sure. No, this is Maya. These people are supposed to be sannyasis. He used to be a GPC. He canceled that because it was getting in the way of his guru business, getting disciples. They have nobody. I was talking to this devotee in Hawaii today, the last couple of days. It's a friend of mine. And I asked him, I said, hey, do you ever see Jayadvaita there? Because he's against the distribution of Jayadvaita's fake books. He goes, yeah, well, Jayadvaita comes to Hawaii sometimes. He has one disciple there. One disciple? How deluded can these people really be? They got one disciple. 2 disciples somewhere, they got to get on a plane and go visit them. Oh, I got to go visit them. When you've got responsibility everywhere and you ignore it all. You disobey the orders of the spiritual master. You disobey the orders of Lord Chaitanya, and you manufacture philosophy in order to justify your role as a so-called big shot. Terrible. Anyway, sorry, everyone. We'll move forward. I wanted, just before we go to the next section, Ram Raghava, can you give us, are there any questions on the YouTube channel or anything else you want to say?
No, there were 9 people watching, now there are 7, and no questions.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming on YouTube. Ron Singh, I wanted you to continue on with a little explanation of what is the wonderful facility and opportunity for people in Oroville to take up logistics in the worldwide distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books that we are printing. Go ahead, Ron Singh.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to thank all the devotees who have donated. We had 27 devotees worldwide. They donated. We collected around $27,000. This book distribution of the original Daily Srimad Bhagavatams. And if devotees who have donated, we need your addresses to ship you out your sets. And that service is still there. There's devotees who have not contacted us. We have your sets. We have your books as promised. We're ready to ship it out. Kindly send us your address and then we'll ship it out to you. Now, we have 2,000 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are ready for shipping. So we'd like the devotees here to canvass on our behalf, on your behalf, on Srila Prabhupada's behalf, to distribute these 2,000 sets as soon as possible. We're encouraging devotees to participate by purchasing more than one sets, 20 sets, 30 sets, 40 sets, 100 sets, whatever you like, and sell it, give it away, do whatever it takes. Let's distribute. And we have different projects that are coming up, which is going to be revealed in due course of time. And now the third service is we have this beautiful place here in Oroville where we have Srila Prabhupada's Delhi edition Srimad Bhagavatam sets, which needs to be set up, which I'm working with Vishwakarma every day. We're setting up the shipping. We're communicating daily on daily basis. This set needs to go to Japan. This set needs to go to Australia, Germany, India. So we're working like that very nicely together. So my position here is just facilitating all this and getting everything going. We have the post office right next door where we just print the labels here, take it to the post office, they scan it in and the books go out. So this is a very easy service. We have this wonderful location here in Oroville. You can go for walks. You can go, have a swim in the river. You can go on hikes, whatever you like. It's a beautiful facility. We have everything here. So we'd like to have someone come here and man the operation of shipping these wonderful Delhi Srimad Bhagavatam sets all over the world. And they would be coordinating with us. I'll be there in the background. There's Vishwakarma, there's Nityānanda. There's various devotees who are very expert in management and they have a lot of experience. So we'll train you up in this very simple service where you can stay very comfortably. We have all you can eat ghee here. We got dal, rice packed to the brim. You can have this wonderful feast and maybe even bring a couple of devotees and work together collectively. And let's get these 2,000 sets out as soon as possible. So that's our plea to all the devotees who's watching. Please contact us. We're here to help you, help Srila Prabhupada make this 2,000 sets go out. And let's increase our level of commitment, service, and dedication to Srila Prabhupada's Krishna consciousness movement. We have so many things we want to do. So this is just one little aspect of the service that we're willing to give out to the devotees. Thank you very much.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify one thing. We don't have 2,000 sets, by the way. No. I think we have 1,750. We've got 250 sets that we've sold. So we're selling, and every day we're selling more books. So we're working towards 400 books sold within the next 2 weeks with people that we're working with. And it'll go on as we continue our campaign of presenting the truth, unadulterated truth, to the human society. And there is a great need for the teachings of Srila Prabhupada in his unadulterated form to be shared with others. And I read it the other day from the Bhagavad Gita, that this service to share this knowledge with others is certainly a very significant service in the eyes of the Supreme Lord himself, who says that there's nothing more dear to me than a devotee that shares this knowledge with others. And when you look at your life, this miserable body, this short duration of time, the problems that we face with relationships with others, with financial stress, with all of the political problems that exist, with the dangers of life as they unfold around us. It's very dangerous. And we think, oh, I'll just live on. Well, maybe not. And actually, in due course, you'll go. It's interesting, when you look at the Facebook reels, like there's this Phil Collins from Genesis. And you see some of this, they're short clips, they're like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And, you get caught up. I'm watching them occasionally. It's my news of the day. And I look at him and I see, oh, wow, this guy, he had these really good songs in the 80s and 90s. He's vital. He looks good. And he's performing in front of tens of thousands of people, even back then. And then you look at him now, Das Avatar. The guy can barely walk. He's got a cane. He can barely walk. His legs are hurt from his work path. And he's had 4 marriages. He's got all kinds of kids. And his body is broken down. He's going to die. And before you know it, soon you'll get the announcement. Guess what? What? Jeff Beck died. Oh, what? If you don't know who he is, he's a famous guitar player in the rock and roll world. And some people depute, oh, he was the best guitar player. I don't know if he was, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's meaningless anyway. You play on the strings and you wang it. You make all that noise. And then you're dead. And what does it do? Is it going to save your soul? No. And you get all this money. I'm going to tell one brief story, Ram Raghava. It was very interesting today. There was this golfer that came on the news. Okay. And John McElroy or something like that. I don't follow golf at all, but anyway, he's speaking. And he's the #1 golfer in the world. And he says, he starts to talk to people. He goes, I only experience 1 minute of happiness when I win a tournament. And then he looks at the camera and he goes, there is more to life than winning a golf tournament. Well, it's a very profound statement that he's making. Yes, there is more to life besides material success. It's spiritual success. When you become Krishna conscious, when you associate with Srila Prabhupada in his Vani incarnation, when you study his books, when you chant your rounds, when you share this message with others of Krishna consciousness, guess what? You feel happy. Even though there's no such thing as real happiness in the world, the real happiness is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Ananda, the bliss of sharing this knowledge with others, makes one happy by the mercy of Krishna. So, and the mission of using your energy, whether it's your body, mind, your wealth, your time, using it to serve the mission, the eternal mission of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. There's nothing. When you taste that nectar, Dasa Avatar, then you know you're happy. The nectar of the holy name. Ram Raghava, are we going to the next section? What's the next section?
Yes, Prabhu. The next section is the hidden pieces of the puzzle with Yashodananda Prabhu.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead, Yashoda, please. Give us some insight.
His commentaries. We are reading from Missing Pieces in a Puzzle, which was compiled in 1993 in Badger, California by several devotees. We are reading from page number 5. This is basically an analysis of various issues that were being discussed at the time by several leading senior devotees. On page number 3, we are reading from point number 4, Testimony of Sriman Gauridas Pandit Das, CVVR number 10, where Gauridas Pandit refers to Srila Prabhupada stating that he would nominate some Ritvik Acharyas who would initiate on Srila Prabhupada's behalf after he would leave the planet. Obviously, a conversation which must have taken place on the 6th of July, because the actual names were given by Srila Prabhupada on the July 7, 1977, appendix printed statement in VVR. Gauridas Pandit Das. Later letters kept coming from temple presidents recommending devotees for initiation. Srila Prabhupada said to wait, and then one morning in his garden he said, tomorrow I will announce some Ritvik Acharyas who will initiate disciples on his behalf, on my behalf, when I leave the planet. Note, according to the current available records published by the Bhaktivedanta Archive, Srila Prabhupada nominated 9 devotees who would be authorized to carry out the function of initiations on the July 7th, 1977. The above statement by Gauridas Pandit would imply that a conversation took place with Srila Prabhupada on the July 6, 1977. Again, no trace of such a conversation is available. Please see appendix number 4. Point number 5, Guru and GBC representative statement on December 3rd, 1980, Topanga Canyon, California, regarding missing recording of conversation between Srila Prabhupada and his secretary, which took place between July 7, 1977 and July 9, 1977. Quote, later on, this is the late secretary speaking. Later on, I asked him 2 questions. 1, what about Brahmananda Swami? I asked him this because I happen to have an affection for Brahmananda Swami. I don't know. I asked him because somehow I asked him whatever. So Prabhupada said, no, not unless he's qualified. Before I got ready to type that letter, I asked him, too, Srila Prabhupada, is this all? Do you want to add any more? He said, as is necessary, others may be added. Note, so here again, where is the recording of this conversation? Since the first 9 names were given on the July 7th, 1977, and the letter signed by Srila Prabhupada authorizing 11 devotees to carry on the function of initiation was signed on the July 9th, 1977, this conversation between Srila Prabhupada and the secretary must have taken place between July 7th and July 9th, 1977. Again, there is no record of these conversations. Please see appendix number 1 and 2. 6, statement made by author of the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita regarding missing recording of conversation between Srila Prabhupada and his secretary, which took place on July 8, 1977, regarding the selection of Bhavananda Goswami and Amsuddha Swami, as they were known then, to the position of Richikacharyas, GBC representative. That's all, said Prabhupada. Now you distribute. For the time being, 7 names. Then he added 2 more. So without waiting for me, said Prabhupada, whoever you consider deserves, that will depend on discretion. Srila Prabhupada said nothing else, and after a few minutes, Tamal Krishna asked if Prabhupada would like to hear a kirtan. Srila Prabhupada assented by a slight gesture, and the chanters who had been waiting came to join in. The next morning, Srila Prabhupada added 2 more names, making a total of 11 disciples who would act as Ritvik, or representatives of the Acharya. Srila Prabhupada had not liked the idea of newcomers of ISKCON to ISKCON having to wait unnecessarily long to be initiated. Now initiations could continue regularly at the discretion of his 11 selected men. From the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 6, Chapter 8, pages 345, 346. Back to you in the studio, Vishwakarma. Hare
Wow.
Krishna.
Thank you. It's apparent that there's a huge cover-up, eh? Yashodanandana.
Well, whatever was going on, there's many things missing.
Well, that's called covered up. It's not missing, it's stolen. This is not by chance, it's by calculated mischievous moves. Let's be real. It's fraudulent. And it's being done by our godbrothers. I call them amateurs. They're amateurs. They don't really, they're not professional criminals. They're amateurs. And they're using the mission for their own personal purposes. Is that hard to figure out? Or are we just fishing? No, it's a fact. And cover-up is going on. Look at what happened with these recent fall downs. There were 3 monstrous movements of people that there was a Bhakti Vidyapurna who was in Mayapur, and he took off to Finland. And where have you heard about him since then? No. Did he get arrested and put in jail yet for child abuse? No. He's hiding around. I think he still walks around in some kind of pink robes. What a joke. And then you have this Giriraj character. You see those pictures of him, it's just, whoa. And he's right out there blatantly associating with women, even though he's a guru renunciate, never talk to women, don't associate with them. He's had all kinds of things going on with that, and that's another story. And then you've got the latest one, was Mr. Trivikram, who's just completely given up even following the instructions of his so-called GBC godbrothers. He's just do all this, then be told don't do it, and then say, well, I'm going to do what I want and goodbye. And again, another cover-up, and he's somewhere in Poland, isn't he? Das Avrata, he's hanging out there. And then some stupid people are still following him because they're half-wits themselves. So it's a big circus of pathetic behavior. And it goes on in all groups, all circumstances. And we're exposed to it. And I'm going to end off, and then we'll move to this next section of our talk. It's $1 billion ripoff. It's not a small thing. There's a lot of money involved in the guru business. And sooner or later, they'll have to give full disclosure, sooner or later. Or they'll be imprisoned for stealing from the innocent public and misusing the philosophy to advance their own personal gains. This is mafia work. Ram Raghava, let's go forward. We got the lecture, don't we?
Yes, we have a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. It's about 6.5 minutes. And in this one, the title is In the Sun Planet, the Bodies Are Fiery.
Fiery. Okay, let's move forward. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam.
So here it is said that Bhira, Dehinasmin Jatha Dehi Kaumarajo Mananjara, and Tatha Dehantram Prati Dhira Tatra Namiyati. Dehina means one who has accepted this material body. Asmin, man in this world, or in this life. Jatha, as Dehi means within this body. Yeah, because Dehina means one who has accepted this body, and Dehi within this body. So I am sitting within this body. Now I am not this body. Just like you are within this shirt and coat. Similarly, I am also within this body. This gross body and the subtle body. This God body is made of this earth, water, and fire, air, and ether. This is God. This is our whole material body. Now, in this earth, in this planet, earth is prominent. Anywhere, the body, material body is made of these 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These are the 5 ingredients. Just like this building. This whole building is made of earth, water and fire. You have taken some earth and you have made bricks and burnt into the fire, and after mixing the earth with water, you make a shape of brick, and then you put into the fire, and when it is strong enough, then you set it. That's like a big building. So it is nothing but a display of earth, water and fire. Simple. That's all. Similarly, our body is also made in that way. Earth, water, fire, air and ether. Air is passing, we are breathing, you know, that air is always there. This outer skin is earth. And there is heat in the stomach. Without heat, you cannot digest anything. You see, as soon as the heat is diminished, your digesting power becomes back. There are so many things. This is arrangement. Now, in this planet, we have got this body, which is where earth is very prominent. Similarly, in other planets, somewhere water is very prominent. Somewhere fire is very prominent. In the sun planet, the body is there. There are also living entities. But their body is so made that it is fiery. They can exist in the fire. They can exist in the fire. Similarly, Varuna Loka, the Venus, all these planets, they have got different types of body. Just like here you can experience that in the water, the aquatics, they have got a different type of body. For years and years together, there are aquatic animals, they are within the water, they are very comfortable. But the moment you drag it to the land, it dies. Similarly, you are very comfortable on the land, but the moment you are put into the water, you die. Because your bodily construction is different. Each bodily construction is different. The bird's bodily, the bird, heavy bird, it can fly. But God's made flying instrument. But your man-made instrument, it crashes, you see, because it is artificial. So this is the arrangement. Every living being has got a particular type of body. Dehinasmin yathade. And what is the nature of that body? But here the matter is being explained that how we change our body. How, because that is a difficult problem for us. Because we are engrossed with the idea of identifying this body with the soul. Now, the first ABCD of spiritual knowledge is to understand that I am not this body. Unless one is firmly convinced that I am not this body, he cannot make progress in the spiritual life. So the first lesson in the Bhagavad Gita is taken in that way. So here, the Dehinasmin. Now Dehi, the soul. Soul. Dehi means soul. One who has accepted this body, material body, he is called Dehi. So Asmin, he is there. He is there. But his body is changing.
Eternal servants of Srila Prabhupada. And this is the point, Prabhus. The formula of success for a living entity in the human form of life is found in the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. And that's why our group, we stress this point that Prabhupada stressed with us. Don't change anything in terms of the teachings that are coming to us in disciplic succession from the pure devotee spiritual master. Is that hard to understand? Nityānanda Prabhu, maybe you could share a few thoughts on this as we wind up the program.
Well, what you're saying is a very important point. Unfortunately, as we know, there's waves and waves of various propaganda to avoid Srila Prabhupada's instruction or to distort Srila Prabhupada's instruction, whether it's in the form of changing his books, changing his instruction, disobeying or concealing very important instructions that he wanted, or to suppress the discussion of various issues. We all know these things. These things have been discussed ad infinitum. Now it's important for those people who are serious about practicing Prabhupada's teachings and distributing Prabhupada's teachings to step up and come and help us with this propaganda of distributing the original Srimad Bhagavatam. As Dr. Ram Singh was mentioning earlier, we need some help in this project, in this program, and we asked to contact us, either myself or Dr. Ram or Vishwakarma Prabhu. There's plenty of service to be done, and we encourage people to come and help. This is very important. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And thank you for your explanations tonight. And really, Prabhus, this is the point. We're not criticizing people, although we're exposing facts. But when you change things, for example, if you go to the hospital, if you're sick, if you got cancer, you want an expert physician or surgeon to cure you. You don't want a person to go in there and say, well, I think I know, but I don't know. And they start hacking you up and you're dead. Well, that's what's happening. This philosophy has been destroyed by mental speculation, mental concoction for personal ambition of a few mundane people who've got into this material business of guruship. Is it serious? It's terrible. And it's $1 billion ripoff. It really is. All the properties, all the property right, all the copyrights of all the books. They've sold over, this is their claim, they've sold 500 million books. So $1 means 500 million. $2 is how much, Ram Raghava? $10. What if it's $5 a book? Now someone would say, is that possible? just put two and two together, and you'll see this is very, very sad state. And we're in the Kali Yuga, but if we come together as a group like we are, and thank you everyone for being there, we're going to find solutions, and we're going to keep going and serving in a selfless manner this mission. And we'll get the ultimate reward at the end of life, which could come at any moment. And some of us are witnessing it in real time. Some of us are waiting for it to come, either for their own family members and friends or for themselves. And this will be a sad day for them. But if they are properly fixed up in Krishna consciousness, it'll be a celebration. And they'll go back home, back to Godhead in this one lifetime. Ron Singh put his hand up. What's the last announcement, Ron? Go ahead.
Yes, so just one more point. I reactivated the GoFundMe campaign so devotees can donate the suggested donation amount of $58, and they can donate and we'll get an email, and then we'll ship out the sets. Just as they donated to the printing, they can also donate now. So that's also very easy for them to do because they've done it before.
Okay. Now, the point is, everybody, if you decide to purchase or donate for the acquisition of a set of books, we do need your personal information. And we want to build a database and sophisticate our reach out to all of you so we have more connectivity. You know, we're a fledgling group. We're gradually evolving. And the more we communicate together and work together, the better we'll be able to please our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, in this mission that we've undertaken. As a group, we're a team. So thank you again. Ram Raghava, what's next on the schedule for our nectar?
Next, Prabhu, is a short Srila Prabhupada Kirtan, about 2.5 minutes, then followed by the 10 offenses, which is followed by 1 round of japa, and then the devotees Vaishnava Pranam prayers by Yashodananda and Prabhu, and then the ending credits.
Okay, and then after that, you're going to play some other stuff, aren't you? Or I don't know.
Today I'll just play bhajan.
Okay, thanks. Whatever you decide. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Stay on board and enjoy the nectar. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Thanks, everybody, for participating in this lively reading and discussion. Thanks, Vishwakarma Prabhu in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Ram Raghava Prabhu, and Viprahita Prabhu, his good father, in Georgia, Ruchisa Devi Dasi, dans les Laurentides, dans la belle province de Québec, Bhakta Vinay in South India, and everybody else, Bhaktin Amber Indy in Florida, Rasikeshwari Devi Dasi, Bhakta Roy in Mississippi, Shyamasundar, the Samosa King in Australia, Triloka Vijay with his multitude of travels in Alachua, Florida, Rupa Goswami Prabhu in Mumbai, and Forest Temples with the beautiful hats in Baja California. Thanks everybody for participating in this program. We welcome all of you to come back on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Although I will be driving to Southern California at that time, I will stop on the road and be there at 7:30, and I will leave you in the hands of Vishwakarma Prabhu. Back to you in the studio. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,